This is the funny thing it is. This is the unpaid promotion for the book I want you to read. It's called You Can Do It, for some Aussie guy writer called Paul Hanna. I never met the guy. I walk in a library and I opened that book. First I laughed. I said like, this is not possible. But he referred about life, that your life is on autopilot, which is true. We are all living autopilot lives. We have the jobs, it's paid, we pay the mortgage, we live, we drink, all these things. But nobody dares to take control of the life. And another thing he said, if you build, they will come. He referred to the movie Field of Dreams. What I did, no money, no home, no family, nothing, everything lost. I start building my business. When I say that idea to people around me, everybody laughed at me. Everybody. You're going to start a business? Look, I'm not an immigrant in Australia. Let me be clear with this one. I was in Australia already for almost 10 years. I wasn't new in this country. I should know better. But yet, somehow I surrounded myself with the people who make it fun of me. They ridicule me and they joke with me. So, how you start a business? I tell you how I started my business. First, I wanted to get a job as a product investigator because that is my strength. That is who I am. I spent almost 20 years by that stage doing investigations, interrogations, and human intelligence operations. But nobody wants to give me a job to be PI. So you wonder, how is that possible? Well, I had one friend, this lady, her name is Anne. She's an average Joe, literally average Joe. I say, Anne, I want to start my business. And she says to me, what do you need? I say, look, I need $1,000 for the license. I don't have the laptop. And I have nowhere to run the business from. She says to me, okay, I'll pay the license. She paid $1,000. She gave me $1,000. That was my very first thing. $100 was the registration of the business, I remember, sole trader. And my license with police was that stage $1,000. It's like a $1 million that stage. My friend gave me. She has no money. She's the average Joe. All these guys, fancy guys and girls with all these businesses, they laughed at me. They laughed. But it's okay. And the second thing, she bought me the laptop. Toshiba, $700. Then there was a shops called Dick Smith. $700 laptop, some plastic Toshiba laptop. And I was paying that laptop back to her for 2 years almost. $20, $30 per month. I was paying that laptop. And I started working from library. Then I moved into the service office, which was a service desk like this. And everybody around me looks very successful except myself. And then my very first commercial, I remember like now, I printed Sherlock Holmes hat, because that's obviously metaphorically very well connected with the private investigations. Because I knew it, I had no money for marketing. And everybody told me, you need money for this. You need to do this. I said, but I have no money. Don't worry. So I printed Sherlock Holmes hat and mobile number, and I said, do you need a private investigator? So that's very noble. You printed, black and white, but where to advertise? So I went into the community centers. I go into the bathrooms. I go into shopping centers. I was sharing my first marketing material, Sherlock Holmes hat with a mobile number. And you know what? I had more laughs, more jokes on me was being made in a way, because at that stage I joined myself into a local chamber of commerce. And at my very first event, I walk in, the guy comes to me, says to me, you must be Mari, new member. I say, yes, and I gonna rock and roll. And the guy opens the mouth and says this, you will never succeed. I said, fuck, what does that even mean? I'm 38 years old, how you can say I'll not succeed? You need a speak speech therapist. I said, "Fuck, man, that's another, like, it's just a, jab and cross, and now there goes the hook and goes the uppercut." And I said to him, "What do you mean?" He says to me, "You will never succeed. You're not one of us. You don't know English in a speech therapist." Mind you, this guy is my client today. He's a very well paid client. He doesn't talk to me, he talks to my staff, but he's my client today. What I did, I cried. I ran home and I freaking cried. 38 years old man, I apologize, 38 years old man, crying like a little girl who somebody stole his lunchbox, because I realized that I have the more obstacles to deal with. But one thing I knew it cannot be more difficult than war. It cannot be more difficult than fighting for the life. You know what? If you guys, all you succeeded, I will succeed as well. It took me 3 years before my first client. 3 years I was listening all these false prophets, false gurus. But you need to listen to them, because you're going to learn what you want to become and what you don't want to be.